Hi guys, it's Rob from Royal Balls. Clutch 1 and Clutch 2 have all shed out, and before we delve into part 2 of the project genetics, I thought I'd just show off the two clutches because some of them are actually extremely nice looking snakes. So let's take a look. So all of Clutch 1 has now shed, and I want to show these guys off a little bit before we set them up and talk a little bit about some of the features that we can see in these double hets. So I have had a second opinion. All my initial identifications and sexes were correct. So we start off with two pastels, and these are just standard looking pastels. Nothing really special about these. The hidden power of course is in the double het, but the line of pastel that we used with the female Pastel Clown that made this clutch was a really nice line of pastel, and so pastel could come from the male, pastel could come from the female, and we have one super pastel. You can see from the head stamp it's very blushed, and if we just compare that to the pastel you can actually see the difference. So this guy here has one copy of pastel, and this guy here has two copies of pastel. This one must have received a copy from both mum and dad, so he is carrying the line of pastel that the mother is carrying, at least on one side of that allele in the super pastel form. Now we look at leopard. This is actually a really nice looking leopard. Obviously this has come from the father, which is a JKR snake. This line of leopard is very nice quality. This is a female. I really like the look of this leopard. Pastel leopard, again from the father. Leopard is from the father, but this is also another really nice quality pastel leopard. And this is a male double het desert ghost clown. This is LemonBlast pastel pinstripe. Look what happens when you put leopard in, and I think it's clear you can see the leopard in this guy. And let's just have a look at this guy, because this leopard is a really nice line of leopard. This guy is really nice. I say guy, this is a female leopard LemonBlast, but really nice quality this one. So you can see in these two snakes here the progression from LemonBlast pastel pinstripe to leopard LemonBlast, which is pastel pinstripe with leopard. The next progression is pastel pinstripe, super pastel pinstripe. So this is a Killer Blast. So this again is carrying two copies of pastel. So on each side of the allele there is a copy of the pastel gene, one from mum and one from dad. So this is really nice. You can see the colours coming through on this guy. So this is super pastel pinstripe or Killer Blast. So you can see LemonBlast, Killer Blast. And if we take the super pastel version of pinstripe or Killer Blast and add leopard, we get this guy here. This is a really feisty guy. He's been striking wildly. You can see that clearly the pattern distortion that leopard brings, and again this is a really nice quality snake. This is a male, this one here is a female. So we have the progression from Killer Blast to leopard Killer Blast, and if we look at it from the other perspective, This is Leopard LemonBlast. This is Leopard Killer Blast. So Leopard LemonBlast has 1 copy of Pastel. Leopard Killer Blast has 2 copies of Pastel. So you can see the progression there. Both of these have Leopard, and both of these 2 guys do not have Leopard. So we've got LemonBlast, Killer Blast, Leopard LemonBlast, Leopard Killer Blast. So you can see all the possible combinations there. These 3 snakes here are absolutely awesome. All double het, and you can see that we're already starting to look at the quality of these animals and decide what's best to breed them back to in the future. We're already making plans for how best to use these double hets. So that's the clutch 1, guys, all shed out, and I think you can see we have some awesome quality there. Okay, clutch 2 all shed, and I want to get these guys set up, so we're just going to run through again the IDs of some of these snakes. There was just a couple of snakes that we weren't sure about, and let me just see if I can grab this guy without being bitten. So this guy here is the one that we said was LemonBlast and quite possibly Spotnose. It's very, very hard to tell in comparison to a regular LemonBlast. So this may not have Spotnose in it, and it's a male. So in many respects we can afford to wait on this one to grow up a little bit to decide whether it really has got Spotnose, because it actually doesn't make a great deal of difference in terms of our project. So this is LemonBlast, Het Desert Ghost, possibly Spotnose. The most important guy in the clutch actually stands out quite well. And if we just dig him out here and put him on the top, I think you can see that that one stands out a mile from all of the others. And this is the one that we identified as Pastel Spotnose. And I think you can see from looking at the head stamp that if that is not Spotnose, it should be. There's a nice spot on the end of his nose. That is a classic Spotnose head stamp. And you can also see very bright dorsal and the regular template alien heads down the side. This is Pastel Spotnose. Let me just dig out my Spotnose yellow belly so that you can compare that, just so that you can convince yourself that this is actually Spotnose. But so this here is Spotnose yellow belly, and the thing to notice is the really, really bright dorsal. So if we compare the two, really, really bright dorsal. I think there's no question there. And if we also have a look at the regular alien heads along the side, this has the classic Spotnose alien heads. The head stamp is a bit spoiled actually by Pastel. If we have a look at the head stamp on this girl compared to the boy, Pastel definitely spoils the head stamp. That is not so distinctive. Let me just show you another example of what I mean. This is my male Spotnose. He is the father of the Spotnose that we just looked at, the yellow belly Spotnose, and you can see this guy's Pastel as well. And so when we compare head stamps, you can still see the spot on his nose. So there he is, the star of the clutch, Spotnose Pastel. This is a little male. We had one leopard in the clutch, and you can see from the head stamp there is a donut on the head stamp. This is leopard, although it looks a very normal looking leopard. There's very little indication that it's leopard, but the belly also tells you this is leopard. So this is a straight leopard, het for Desert Ghost. And then we had 4 snakes which we thought were Pastel Leopard, possibly 2 of them being Spotnose. And you can see that after shed, if I have a look at the head stamp here, the head stamp on this one shows the classic Pastel Leopard head stamp with the 4 clover leaves there. This is the one with the really, really wacky pattern at the back. I have never seen a leopard that looks like that, but I don't think it really matters, guys, in terms of our project. So I'm calling this one Pastel Leopard. They're all staying, so we still have time to let them grow up a little bit, but I'm saying that all 4 of these, based upon their head stamps, are just wacky pattern pastel leopards. Why they have this wacky pattern? Whoa! So this one is snapping at me. You can see it's going to bite me. You can see the head stamp. Again, pastel leopard, very wacky pattern. So what we're saying for these guys is that we have 4 pastel leopards. None of these definitively have Spotnose in them. So I think our initial IDs were a little bit wishful thinking. These are 4 pastel leopards, 2 males, 2 females. At the end of the day, it's not really going to make much difference to our project plans. Okay, so 4 pastel leopards is what we're calling these. Let me get these set up individually now. Okay guys, that's just a quick look at all the snakes from clutch 1 and clutch 2. The first clutch is a double het, Desert Ghost Clown project. The second clutch is a single het for Desert Ghost. In the next episode, we'll actually look at clutch 2 and start to plan out what we're going to do with these guys. So don't forget to share, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.